I find myself in the midst of an absolutely glorious visit from three of my sons, their lovely and dear friends and partners, wives, and my grandchildren this weekend. And as I was sitting last night in the room chock full of this humanity, it occurred to me that what I felt, what I sensed, was this wonderful, delicious appetite. Appetite for life, appetite for fun, appetite for humor, appetite for enjoyment, appetite for intimacy. Even though they're just downright the same as everybody else, they're all in the midst of this pandemic, and it's pinching them here and it's pinching them there. What burst through all of that nonsense is this appetite. And even though we've mentioned appetite in our lives many times, it's usually been associated with our carnal, with our bodies. We seem to insist that our bodies have an appetite. Or there are people who will tell you that there's a spiritual appetite we need to gain, or a mental appetite. And here's what I found. What I sensed last night was not a spiritual appetite. I've been around people who claim to have a spiritual appetite, and God love them. I think they try to act that out with study, with prayer, with studious understanding of church affairs. And what they end up with is a very shallow life that unfortunately is at times hypercritical of others who are not quite as sanctified. I've seen people who are have a mental appetite. We would call them bookworms. People who they get their hands on a book and they've traveled the world through books. Here's what I've found with those people. Those people are not extroverts. They don't come out of the books and start wanting a dynamic life. They stay in the books and they stay pretty introverted. And then, of course, the people who have just an appetite for the things that are physical, the things that are what we would refer to maybe as carnal, end up frustrated, aggravated, sometimes addicted to where these appetites take them. But we need an appetite. But no one ever thinks about the appetite being born, unearthed through the passion of the emotions, Even though it's out of the abundance, the passion, the accumulation of our emotions that we actually do speak what we feel. Eventually we will speak our heart, even if it takes a lot of aggravation and time to bring forth a message. But what I sensed last night was an appetite for life. Not born through spirituality, not born through mental acuity or physical demand, but born through the heart, seeking intimacy to stimulate passion, to bring about the emotion that makes us want to have a good appetite for life.